With Toyota's well-known Prius receiving a complete makeover last year, the Prius Prime is a revival of Toyota's Prius plug-in with a bigger battery, redesigned styling, and a huge upgrade to its driving dynamics. With all of these upgrades, is it worth the extra cost over the regular Prius? Well, let's go ahead and find out and take a closer look at this 2017 Toyota Prius Prime. Now, in terms of the styling of the Prius Prime here, certainly is very interesting looking. You do have some pretty menacing and angry looking front headlights, which are LEDs. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of the front grille either. When you get to the rear of the vehicle, it does take styling cues of Toyota's Mirai, which is their fuel cell vehicle. But the styling certainly isn't boring and is really interesting to look at and is very unique in its own way. Now, the Prius Prime, our model we have here is the base model, which is the Plus, and it comes pretty well equipped with Toyota's Infotainment System. You also do have Toyota's Safety Sense, which includes automatic emergency braking as well as adaptive cruise control, and then the LED headlights you also do have, of course, which is nice. So really comes nicely equipped. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. I love the key fob for the Prius Prime, very unique. And I love how you have the Prius Prime logo on the back right here. You have your lock, unlock, your hold AC button, and then your panic alarm too. Now this color of the Prius Prime is known as the Blizzard Pearl. You also do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. You also find a full-on black cloth interior with manual driver's seat adjustments and manual recline. Now stepping on inside of the Prius Prime here, very interesting in terms of its styling. And Toyota added in some pretty unique styling details, such as the Prius logo on the air vents. And I love the black gloss finish too. Makes it a little bit more high quality inside of here. But it's pretty nice for our base trim level. And it does differ in terms of its styling with the regular Prius. It's a little bit different. Now you do have push button ignition, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. You also do have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, CVT automatic here. Go down for drive like this and up for reverse in typical Prius fashion. And when you put the vehicle into reverse, displays your rear view camera with guidance lines. And you also do have regenerative braking too. And then you just go push for park. Easy as that. Now let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Prius here. All windows are fully automatic. Let's go and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors. Now the Prius Prime is also a little bit longer than the regular Prius, and Toyota did that to accommodate the bigger battery that's in the Prius Prime. You also do have these really small looking 15-inch alloy wheels. Coming up front here, we'll find LED headlights with automatic high beams, and you have LED turn signal indicators. But many styling cues are taken from Toyota's Mirai fuel cell vehicle. Now powering the Prius Prime here is a 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder engine paired with an electric motor that produces 121 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being combined 54 miles per gallon. Now the Prius Prime can also go on electric mode only for 25 miles, and the Prius Prime can be charged to a 120 volt power outlet that takes about 5.5 hours to charge. Go for the 240 volt power outlet and you're looking at a little under 2 hours to charge. But the Prius Prime has outstanding fuel efficiency, and it's actually a lot better than the regular Prius too. Now, probably the Prius Prime's main competitor is certainly the Chevrolet Volt, and you can also look at the Chevrolet Bolt too if you would like. But the Chevrolet Volt is a plug-in hybrid, while the Bolt is an all-electric vehicle. Now, on a little side note here, these little styling touches that Toyota has made is actually to help out fuel efficiency, and it is for the aerodynamics for the vehicle. You also find that on the Camry too. Now, total vehicle price for the Prius Prime, you're looking at $28,584. And the final assembly point for this vehicle is in Japan. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, like I said, take some styling cues from Toyota's Mirai. You have LED taillights and LED turn signal indicators. Really interesting looking, really unique. All of your basic power necessities, including power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors. Chrome interior door handles. Interior quality inside of here is pretty good. You'll find plenty of soft touch materials in all of the important places, like on the door panels, and on top of the dashboard too is slightly soft touch. Not too bad in terms of interior quality. Not many panel gaps inside of here. There are some cheap plastics inside of here, but given the price point of the vehicle, not too shabby. The steering wheel design is also unique in terms of its styling, but you will find your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, and your voice recognition. And then over here you have your lane departure alert, as well as your forward collision alert, and then your controls for the information center up there. And then let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition.
How may I help you?
Tune to 103.5 FM.
Tuning to 103.5 FM.
The voice recognition does pick up your voice quite well. You also do have a manually dimming rearview mirror, map lights, your sunglass container. And then down here you have 2 staged heated seats, which is pretty cool on our base plus model. Then you also do have a little cubby right here, dual cup holders. Then your center console storage, there's actually plenty of it. You also do have this removable tray, which is pretty cool. Soft touch, and it's wrapped in cloth. A box compartment. And you also do have 3 different drive modes. You have your power mode, normal, and your eco mode too. Your power mode is if you're going on a pretty steep hill, if you need that extra power, and then the eco mode is of course the most fuel efficient setting, and your normal is for everyday use. Climate controls are pretty easy to figure out. You have your fan speeds, then your temperatures, as well as your front window defroster, rear window defroster, then your cycling mode too, then your different zones too. And it also comes with the smart airflow, which you can actually direct the airflow of the vehicle throughout the whole entire cabin, which is pretty cool. As far as visibility goes out of the Prius Prime, visibility is not the Prius Prime's greatest strength. It's decent on the front windows. When you get to the windshield, it's okay, but I don't really like how the dashboard like wraps around you. It feels kind of like you're sitting inside of a bathtub. And then also when you get to rearward visibility, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but you do have a split rear window back there, which is interesting. But a rear view camera does come standard on every Prius Prime. The seats are also fairly comfortable, nice and plush, and thigh support is also pretty good too. Now coming to the infotainment system and the head unit. Now this is the base head unit. You can go for a much larger touchscreen on the higher end trim of the Prius Prime, but this one works fairly well. You have your audio sources, which do include AM, FM, as well as XM satellite radio, and you also do have your CD player with your optical disc drive, Bluetooth streaming audio, and a USB port with iPod integration, as well as your auxiliary input. But it's very responsive, and you could can configure your home screen however you would like. You have your apps, which gives you your navigation, but you have to insert the SD card inside of here to use that. And then you have your traffic, weather, your eco, which gives you your trip information. You have your energy monitor, which shows you the flow. And then you have your messages, weather, traffic, maintenance. But overall, it's a very responsive head unit. I love that. Now, coming to the gauges and the instrument cluster up here, some people may not be a huge fan of the way the gauges are mounted and how it's in the center instead of right in front of your face. But you do have a digital speedometer right there, and then it also shows you your odometer as well as your average fuel economy on the left side and your exterior temperature readout, and then your fuel gauge. It also shows you what driving mode you're in. And then in the center, that's your information center, which is controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel. Shows you all of your vehicle information. It can be a little hard to read at times since it's pretty far away from the driver. You have your energy monitor, and then you also do have your turn by turn directions for your navigation system. Shows you what radio station is playing. And then your climate control, and then also your safety technologies, and then your messages, and all your settings, such as your kilometers, miles per hour. You could change that. And then you also do have your digital clock. You could change any vehicle settings like the charge settings, maintenance system. Pretty cool though. However, I wish that this information center was located right in front of the driver instead of way over here. And the screen is a little small and could be a little hard to read. Then right here you have your digital clock, shows you what gear you're in. Now, most people will buy a Prius because of its outstanding fuel efficiency, and the Prius Prime certainly does not disappoint. It's much better than the last generation plug-in hybrid. But where they improved on driving dynamics is certainly on its handling. The handling is much better than the last generation Prius plug-in. You will find that it handles with a little bit more confidence and is a little less vague in its steering. The ride quality is also firm yet comfortable, and road noise is kept to a minimal level. Now, if you're looking for good acceleration, you may not find that in the Prius plug-in. It doesn't deliver the best acceleration out there. The Chevrolet Volt is a little bit better than the Prius Prime here, but the Prius plug-in is all about the fuel efficiency. I mean, the Prius Prime. I always call this a plug-in. I don't know why. All right. Now let's go ahead and shut down Prius Prime. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Now, also due to the bigger battery pack, the load floor is a little higher up this time around. The rear seats do fold down, which is cool. Because as you can see, the cargo space is not the greatest. It can be a little bit better. It's pretty easy to fold the rear seats down, but pretty high load floor for a hatchback type vehicle. Interior quality does somewhat follow through in the rear. Now, when sitting back here in the Prius Prime, there's an okay amount of legroom. Headroom can feel a little bit tight back here, and a huge con is that it only seats 4 back here instead of 5. But at least you do have a center console, which is pretty interesting, and you do have dual cup holders too, and a 12-volt power outlet, and dual map pockets. But if you're looking to seat 5, I suggest going with the regular Prius. All right. So with its long list of standard features, its improved fuel efficiency and driving dynamics, the 2017 Toyota Prius Prime is an excellent choice for a plug-in hybrid vehicle, and is certainly a huge improvement over the last generation Prius plug-in. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.